This is Mr. Brownfoot standing up on his hind legs like he likes to do. I missed the first couple rounds of it. Now this is Tilty. This is why I went to get my camera. I don't know who remembers Tilty Head. I had not seen him in a long time. And I hate to say it, but I'd forgotten about him. And he showed back up within the last week because of the whole mating thing. He's male. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't remember his name at first. And I thought, was he also ear guy? Because I have another ear guy. But then I remembered, it just came to me. And it was one of the times I looked at him. I'm like, oh yeah, Tilty Head. That's him. There he is, little Tilty Head. And there was a time, wasn't there, where we saved, he was in a batch of about 3 to 5 squirrels, and a hawk came down, and I happened to see it. It was across the street, and I started screaming and doing all like I do, and got the hawk out of there, and he lived, and we were so bonded after that. And here's little Gizmo. Little Gizmo. Hey, Gizzy. Come here, Giz. Brownfoot was here earlier, and I wished I'd had my phone. Brownfoot stood right here, and I was like, no way. I've never seen a young squirrel do that. Like, that is a perch of a rover or a pippy, someone who is well established in the hierarchy. I couldn't believe Brownfoot jumped up there, and it was real cheeky of him to do, as they say. Here's Tilty Head. So happy to see Tilty Head. I had not seen him, I think, in about a year or something. I don't know. The mating has brought him back. It's 12 degrees, feels like 7 or something like that, but I'm giving Gizmo, or I should say I'm giving Gizmo seeds to remember his mother. Hopefully this brings back good memories of eating breakfast with Tupac and I. Especially with Tupac. When he's eating breakfast with me, he doesn't need memories of that. But, you know, being that I'm here and the seeds are here, I'm hoping that brings back memories of his mom. I was thinking about Tupac and how at the end, like, she never before brought all of her kids to me. Never in all the years. 5 years, she did not bring her babies to me, but she brought these kids to me. Yang and Tupac, Yang and Gizmo and Brownfeet. She brought them to me, assuming Brownfeet's her kid. I still can't tell. Did he just hang around their family, or was he actually one of her kids? I don't know. Being that she was tolerant of him, I'm thinking he had to be one of her kids. But in any case, she never did that before. She never did that with any other kids. And she had a kid named Grabby a few years ago, a boy, and he would grab really fast and up from my hand. He was really cool, but she didn't bring him to me. He more came to me on his own, and I'm not sure she was even that thrilled about it. But these 3 she brought to me, and I wonder if she knew she was winding down, and if she, you know, was transitioning them to me, making sure that they would have somewhere to go where they felt safe, and make sure they were fed, especially with winter coming. She did a great job. Gizmo's eating seeds right where his mom used to, right where Tupac used to eat the seeds when she was by herself. He came up to the door wall and, well, what more can I say? You don't say no when Gizmo hits the door wall. It's like, oh. I don't say no when anybody hits the door wall, but especially Gizmo. I was going to show some of the fur on the right side of his body. Makes him very distinctive besides the Bart Simpson haircut. You see it? He's got some white / gray fur right there on his shoulder. He's still small. but it looks like he's gained some winter weight, so that's good. Yang was just here too. She's still small. Brown feet, of the three of them, if he is a third, he's grown the biggest. You can still see that white thing in his tail, like the x-ray tail that he had as a youth. I think he's still a youth to some extent, but not as young as he was a few months ago, just like all of us. What are you going to say when you're a narrator, you know? Well, he's not as young as he was a couple months ago. It's profound. It's so profound. I'm telling the squirrels, winter only happens once a year, so you got to take advantage of it when it does. And I use 3 seasons a year to fix up their places, and now using the one season that I don't really care to be outside constructing things for them to fix up the shack that I work in. I kind of have an open license agreement where I can do pretty much whatever I want, and I'm gonna. Tomorrow, the ugliest wallpaper in the world is going to be eradicated. I'll put a picture of it here. It is so gross, and it's coming down tomorrow. I don't know at what point in time somebody said, honey, you know what I could use on the wall is some freaking burlap. Let's put some burlap on the wall. That'd be gorgeous. But they did. Somebody did do that. So it basically looks like a burlap sack, and it's glued to the wall, and it's coming down tomorrow and then going to be painted with 0 VOC paint. A half decade of working in burlap walls and having squirrels come in and deal with gross carpet and burlap walls is just too long. So we're not going 6 years. 5 years was more than enough. So I'm going to use my open license agreement to make some changes. I don't know or care who's paying for it. It's just going to happen. There's somebody looking for me. You gonna look in? Where's Amy? Where's Amy? Come out and play. All right. All right, let's play. You want to play ball? I had a feeling you wanted to play ball. I was just telling Chino, who's in here, I was telling Chino that sweet buttermilk in flat finish may indeed be the most boring color in the world, but it's all we had on hand, and it's going to be better than having a giant Triscuit on the wall. Okay, so this is the Triscuit challenge. Can we make this look less like a Triscuit, less like a burlap sack that's falling off the wall, and more like a house that might exist in the year 2000 something or other? Or at least something up to 1980 standards. I'm going to get rid of this. And this is the path of progress.